Hi guys, I'm Jim and this is J&R Woodworking, and I recently did a video on some upgrades I did to my Excalibur scroll saw on some dust collecting tubes that I put on them for picking up the dust on the top and down below the table, and I also put a clock on it. And what I bought was a small alarm clock. And I had some comments on this and a couple of emails asking me, why would you need an alarm clock on your scroll saw? Well, it's not that I need an alarm clock. What I needed was a small clock. I mean, I only found 2 of these on eBay. And one was a large wall clock, which obviously, where do you hang that? And this one, which sits nicely on top of this dust port. It's analog. You cannot use digital, because every time you shut a digital clock off and turn it back on, it reverts to 12 o'clock, which that's about useless. On this you can see I have 52 minutes on it. Now, that's how long I've been running on these 3 puzzles I've started. Now when I make puzzles, I usually make a dozen at a time. And when I first started making them, I just used a little puzzle, and I took the little square puzzle piece with the little ears, and I used that for a pattern. And I made a few, sent them to the stores that sell them for me. And they didn't say anything, but I got really bored cutting out that same shape on this entire puzzle. So one night I just took the outline of it and I just started making my own little lines and my own locks. And I come up with unique shaped pieces. I made them as weird as I could, and I sent a dozen of them over to him. And he emailed me back and he said, I really like these puzzles. The customers are buying these over the other ones, so now I'm probably stuck with a few of those because of the shape of your pieces. So the clock is to keep track of how long it takes me to make a dozen of these. If I start, it might take me 3 days depending on how busy I am to get a dozen of these puzzles done. But when you use that analog clock, every time you step on this puzzle, on this pedal, the clock starts. And if the wife says time to eat, or the neighbor comes over I'm waiting for to pick up this table and chairs I got, when I shut off the saw, the clock will stop. I don't have to try to remember, okay, I've been doing this for 10 minutes today and 15 minutes an hour ago and 20 minutes yesterday. I just have to look at that. All you got to remember to do is when you start a new job is to set all the hands at 12. And then as it goes, you keeps track. So basically I did it for pricing reasons and just to try to beat my own time when I cut the next puzzle out. I mean, you don't have to have them all exact. Sometimes I cut these puzzles out, I don't even put lines on them. I just cut them out. The more irregular shaped and different they are, it seems that they sell better. I don't know. But that's the reason I got the clock. Now if you go to a store to try and find one of these, good luck. As I went to all the department stores that's around me, all you can find is battery operated digital clocks. I could not find a analog clock in any store I went to. They're all digital. And if they were analog clock, they ran on batteries. So I had to go on eBay and I found 2 clocks. This one, which is small and it fits on top of that diverter box just perfect, and a large wall clock. And that's all I could find on eBay at the time. So that's why I picked this one. I don't use the alarm. So that's about it. I just wanted to clear that little misunderstanding up. I think that was on my part. I certainly didn't explain it that well when I told them what I did. So don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, for goodness sakes, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to help you out. It's Jim's, no, that's the wrong one. It's jnrwoodworking2@gmail.com, and it's the number 2. Or you can send it to Jim's Fix-It Shop. It doesn't matter. It goes to the same place. Don't forget to subscribe. I got a lot of stuff coming up on the woodworking side more than the Fix-It side. I'm about done with that snapper rebuild. I'm going to finish putting the engine together tonight. I'm going to be getting into this finish that I've made for finishing these puzzle pieces. The finish that I've come up with is a totally waterproof, thin, extremely fast drying finish. I've got this puzzle here that's probably 15 pieces. And what I do is I take a piece, I stick a little straight pin into it, which pokes in there pretty easy. And I usually do it on the inside somewhere. It's down in one of these keys where you can't see it. And I dip them into this finish. And then I hang it from a string from a little nail on a board. And by the time you get 2/3 of the way across this puzzle, that first piece is totally dry. Now, some of the guys I've seen use boiled linseed oil. I found that stuff takes days to dry. By the time I've got all these dipped and dried, I can package it within 15 minutes of when I start dipping them. That stuff dries that fast, and I'm going to tell you what that finish is coming up. You can't take all your secrets with you when you go, so I'm going to start passing them on. So subscribe. You're going to want to know what this stuff is, believe me. And when I tell you what it is and how I make it, you're not going to believe me until you try it yourself in your own shop. I guarantee you, when I tell you what I make, you're going to go out and get the stuff and try it yourself, because you're not going to believe it really does what it does. So subscribe. Don't miss. And we'll talk to you soon.